Peace and blessed to the tribe. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Remember, they said it. Now we speaking on it. I am Mr. Telescope, and you're now watching Telescope Channel. So, getting straight into this premium black news as we always like normally bring to y'all. You feel me? Okay, today we're gonna be talking about what everybody's talking about. Obviously, what's in the algorithm, the Big Bank and Tekashi 6ix9ine interview, right? But I guess I'll put my own little twist on it. I'm gonna throw a little yak in there, like the beginning of the video, y'all seen, one of Kodak affiliates, one of the KTB affiliates, what I'm saying, Nightmare out of Miami, spoke on the situation pertaining to Kodak Black doing the track and the criticism that he got for doing the track with 6ix9ine and how he felt about Big Bank doing an interview with 6ix9ine. But first, I want to touch on what's most important. The interview with Big Bank. And it's some things, a lot of aspects about that interview that I feel like people didn't give constructive criticism, analytical criticism, as well as just things that were kind of like little gems and jewels that was kind of hidden throughout the interview. A lot of people were kind of like, verbally rebutting what they heard, taking what they heard somebody else say, put it on their platform, and acting like, they came up with that train of thought. That wasn't the case with me, and that will never be the case with me. Y'all already know, they said it, now we speaking on it, but when I say we speaking on it, we gonna give our own perspective of what they said, right? And what we seen them say, or what we seen them do. The major thing that I got from that interview, is that not only, obviously, like everybody else said, it was strategic. 6ix9ine is obviously more clever than Big Bang thought, or more clever than a lot of people thought. But, excuse me, I'm over here, I got some burping and shit. But what I seen was somebody that was a clout vampire, attention vampire, social media vampire, right? Literally right before our eyes, sucking the fame, but sucking the fame out of, the Atlanta hip-hop scene, right? I didn't see a lot of people talk about that perspective, so I'm gonna elaborate on what I mean. It was literally like, and whatever you want to call him a rat, call him whatever, but in the hip-hop game, in the entertainment game, and I might get a little flack for this, but in the entertainment game and in the hip-hop game, in the media game, social media game, that nigga, since he stepped on the scene, since he stepped on the scene, dude has been damn near like a social media god, a fucking Olympian, right? And it's damn near like, and Big Bang been on the scene too. A lot of people know him throughout Atlanta music scene, throughout the Atlanta streets. If you know about Alley Boy, Duct Tape, you know Big Bang. Them boys been doing their thing for well over 10, 15 years, probably 20, But what I seen was 6ix9ine latch on his ass. 6ix9ine latched on Big Bang and literally sucked the social media fame and clout from out of Big Bang to the point where he was delusional and confused. He didn't really even know what to say. He didn't know how to rebut anything that 6ix9ine was saying. Even to the point where he said this.
But I'm going to just keep it a brick. And I'm tired of, because you keep asking me questions, so you're making me the way I have to say what loophole is. I'm just keeping it real.
Now, we're not going to use too much of their video and too much of people's content, but just that one part was very telling of him saying that, right? Then not only that, he said something else that I thought that stood out when he spoke on 21 Savage. And he was like, man, and this is actually when he did, this wasn't even on the couch. This is actually when he did his own, rebuttal, and he did his own little show after to the aftermath of what had conspired on the the interview with him and 6ix9ine. And he said something to the effect of, And like, you know what I'm saying? Don't miss me on the quotes because I don't believe it's verbatim, but he said something definitely to the effects of, y'all watch it. It was on Revolt. It was on the Big Facts podcast. He said something to the effect of, man, you speaking on these niggas and you a rat. And how am I going to justify them boys being a rat with a rat? You know, I'm not going to play with a nigga like that. You know, them niggas real serious. Niggas will get niggas missing and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I ain't finna go out like that. I'm not finna, you know, come up missing because of what you got going on, you know. He was saying something to that effect. And I just thought that, I was like, yo, like, that's why he kind of like, you know, playing this with kid gloves, soft gloves, because he believes, you know, he might get hurt behind talking about Savage or, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. It was mainly Savage that he was saying that remark about, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you might come up missing and So I find that really interesting. And the same thing goes for Thug. I think that's why he held Thug with kid gloves. You know, when a nigga get older, they go to get some money and shit like that. They probably was wilding in the streets when they was young. But a nigga play the game, you know what I'm saying, way more smarter when they older and they got a little money. They don't want to lose that freedom. They don't want to lose that money, that woman that they got, that luxury of walking in the club and everybody know them. And, you know what I'm saying, they got a little, you know, street credentials. Niggas want money. They know niggas money hungry. Niggas want money. Niggas gonna do whatever they say. You know, they not gonna lose that over saying the wrong thing about the wrong person and potentially making somebody crash out because we two mega powers in the city. So, you know what I'm saying? If $1 million nigga clash with $1 million nigga, we all gonna lose it all, you feel me? Versus, you know, $1 million nigga clashing with a nigga that ain't got $5 in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? We can make this nigga disappear and nobody'll give a damn. You know what I'm saying? So I think when it came to him talking about Atlanta moguls and talking about bosses in Atlanta, he wanted to stay straight away from that because he do feel like, you know what I'm saying, niggas might have pressure with him. It might be a war or something like that. So that's what I think that, you know, he didn't want to talk in his backyard. He was like handling it with kid gloves, in my opinion. Now, like I said, when he was on the Tekashi, pretty much a Tekashi 6ix9ine show, that's what I'm gonna get at. It was like I said, it was like two Olympians fighting. You know what I'm saying? And Tekashi, give me the torch, and took his torch, took his light. Give me the torch. They fighting over the torch. You feel me? And took his light. Now, obviously, Big Bang, he's gonna be talked about right now, but we all know that go and come. This is a hot topic, so niggas gonna be talking about it for right now, unless he get somebody to rebuttal what 6ix9ine said on his show. If you get Gucci to rebuttal what 6ix9ine said on his show, I don't really even see, you know what I'm saying, Big Bank podcast being that big for too long. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they said that he was on Complex. He scored X amount of numbers on X amount of position on Complex or whatever. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, I was watching the Big Facts podcast before it really even got popular for real. And I think I was watching it around the time when Rollo came on there, and Rollo was explaining his situation with, you know, the whole paperwork, the snitching allegations, and Baby J brought that up. You know what I'm saying? I was watching it around that time before it really got like popular. You know what I'm saying? So to see, you know what I'm saying, to see him go out like that, I mean, damn, man, it was just so many points that you seen that like this dude was not socially and mentally ready to have this type of conversation that he was trying to have. I guess he probably thought like, you know, man, I'm gonna bring up this, I'm gonna bring up that. And that's what a lot of people think. It's just like going into a fight and sparring. Each man think they finna win the fight. One man gonna come out the winner, one man gonna come out the loser. But each man go in that ring thinking that they gonna win the fight, and they prepared to win that fight, and they got all the tools and skills on deck and ready at hand to win that fight. But one man come out the winner and the successor. And in that fight, that verbal altercation that Big Bank and 6ix9ine had, 6ix9ine obviously brutally beat him socially and mentally and became the successor in that fight. Now, like I said before, I feel like those were two Olympians fighting for that torch, because what 6ix9ine did was so strategic to the point where he brought up paying him, yes, but it was more important that it wasn't the big, like normally it'd be the big facts. Like, imagery is everything. If you study imagery, you know. Imagery is everything. He had Facts TV in the background. It wasn't the Big Facts podcast. It was the Facts TV podcast. You get what I'm saying? Which will also lead me into my next point that I wanted to say, that, this brother's a social media guru. He's smart. That's why a lot of people didn't understand, like, this is not a street dude. Why would you get him into non-trade? Why would you get him into gangster business? Why would you do da-da-da-da? Behind the scenes, Shotty and them probably didn't want that nigga to be in no gangster shit. Most of that shit probably was 6ix9ine idea. Put him in the videos with the weed and the flag and the colorful hair and the girls around and the guns around. And once niggas seen, like, okay, this nigga making good social media ideas. He has a good mind for what's gonna hit, what's gonna make numbers. They started letting that nigga make more decisions, right? And once he seen he had the power to get niggas hurt in real time, physically hurt in real life, you know what I'm saying? That's when he started pushing the button on a lot of niggas, like dirt niggas, when he was getting into it with Casanova niggas. He making real niggas, he pushing the button and making real niggas do shit in real time, and they being led by a troll, right? So that just goes to show you the magnitude of his social instinct, his social power. A lot of people got different superpowers. His superpower is being social. He's an interesting character. Whether you like it or not, he's an interesting character. You gotta give it to him. I seen from watching that, I was like, yo, this nigga trying to steal Bank Light. Like, he literally stealing Bank Light as we watch that. If you watch that whole interview, all you see is it getting worse and worse as the interview go on for Bank, because he's trying to make, I gotta make loopholes for niggas. And then he can't remember what he was saying. Oh, I gotta make loopholes for niggas. Wait, what the question was? That shows that you can't obtain knowledge, retain knowledge, and then rebut knowledge. You feel me? If somebody asks you a question, you know the answer to the question, but as well as what make you a superior social genius or a superior social being is being able to know the answer to the question that they're asking you, but in the back of your mind already have a strategic answer for them, point A, point B, point C, and then already have another question lined up for them, you know what I'm saying, to rebut that. And that's what a lot of people think, that, like, you know what, I'm gonna get me a mic, I'm gonna get me some headphones, a desk, and I'm gonna be a podcaster. They making money, so people doing it for the money and not what's for them. A lot of these people ain't groomed and studied and well read to do this type of work. So they think that because you get flashy lights, a nice camera, a nice mic, people gonna come and watch you. That's the same thing with Tekashi 6ix9ine set. Now, he actually has the mental wherewithal to go far in this type of game because he's around people like academics and sparring with them on a friendly basis, not even like on and off camera, but sparring with them mentally, right? That puts him in a position to be better than your average. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are not verbally sparring with people like DJ Academics or, some of the greats like Vlad, right? So that puts you it makes you mentally ready to go up against average people. You're gonna demolish them like he demolished Big Bank. We don't know Big Bank for being no podcast. We know Big Bank for being, in the streets, being a street nigga, right? For the most part. You know what I'm saying? Duct tape, that's some street shit, music, right? Most artists are not intelligent. Most artists can't conduct interviews. That's why you see very little interviews of your favorite artists, because they're stupid. And I hate to say this in that manner, but there's no nice way to say that somebody is slow or stupid, right? And this is what you get when you put somebody that is social media savvy, like 6ix9ine, somebody that is socially savvy, like 6ix9ine, and devious at the same time against somebody that is like Bank, where you just got street connections. So niggas gonna come fuck with your podcast just because they know you from the streets. You know this finna do numbers because you know these niggas' names big in the streets and big in the industry. Niggas wanna hear their story. So you try to do the shock jock. You know, typical shock jock. Like right now, everybody's shock jock. That's like what Charlemagne did almost over 15 years or a decade ago. That's no longer new anymore. Like it's kind of, in a sense, it's kind of played out. You know what I'm saying? The shock jock shit, like saying, oh, I never thought he'd say that, or he said that to him. Like, oh damn, I've been wondering that, but I never thought he would put it on the floor and actually say that. You know what I'm saying? That type of technique and that style of journalism is kind of somewhat played out, because we seen Charleston White do it. We seen niggas like Dogface do it. We seen a lot of these niggas that are interesting to watch because of shock value. We seen them do it. So it's only so many people that gonna be able to keep on doing the same thing until you be like, oh, this nigga chasing clout, right? My personal opinion, I feel like the new form of journalism is bringing what's real, what's truth, right? You're not necessarily being shocked like what 6ix9ine was doing. You can't dispute what he was saying was, you know, like it was real, it was true. Also, if somebody smashed your baby mama, you know, you was loyal to them, they smashed your baby mama, no excuses, you know what you signed up for. But somebody smashed your baby mama, somebody doing this, somebody doing that, and being disloyal to you, you gonna keep a gangster code and be loyal to them and let them stay free? Any logical person gonna be like, you gonna take 46 years, 47 years for somebody that, you know what I'm saying, killed your mama, killed your dog, did the unthinkable to you and your family. You gonna take 47 years for them just to say, you know, you a real nigga, right? And any logical person gonna say, no, I'm not gonna take 47 years for them. So logical podcasting, analytical podcasting is the new wave. Like just asking, like even analytical and logical interviews, asking people real questions. You feel me? Like stuff that makes sense. Like, oh, is the streets real? Is the streets a myth? Well, no, the streets say the streets don't really exist. Bank said it himself. The streets don't really exist. All right, so why are you keeping up that code then? You get what I'm saying? That's what make people look at it and be like, oh, damn, that is kind of like we was like following some stupid shit. Like, and niggas be scared to say that they for 40 years or for 30 years, or they done caught time behind this shit. They done lost their family behind this shit. You know what I'm saying? They be scared to say that, yo, I was following some stupid shit, because they too far in. You don't, like, ego and pride make you don't want to look stupid. But the real man puts his ego and his pride to the side and teaches the youth, hey man, look, that was stupid what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I was a fool for doing that. I took myself off the streets by doing that. You know what I'm saying? I lost my wife, I lost my family for indulging in this shit like that, and I got nothing from it. You ain't gonna get nothing from it just saying you a real nigga. Oh yeah, he a real nigga. Niggas not gonna pay you no money. Yeah, he a real nigga. You can't take that shit to the credit union or to the grocery store and go get some free groceries or some shit like that. That shit don't mean nothing. So it's really about logical and analytical interviews and podcasting right now. You feel me? Yeah, the shock jock shit work, but it's like, you know, you want to mix it. You want to, like, it's like a fighting style. You know, a little jujitsu here. You know what I'm saying? A little taekwondo there. A little boxing here. You know, it's like you want to mix it up. Yeah, you can throw the shock jock in there, but keep it analytical and logical, right? And then you switch it up with some other shit. So that's why I feel like Big Bank couldn't combat him, because he was coming with one type of style. You know what I'm saying? If he would have came with multiple type of fighting styles socially, you know, he would have been able to combat what 6ix9ine was putting up. Like a lot of the points that 6ix9ine was putting up on the board on him, it just made more sense than what Big Bank was saying. So niggas was siding with, you know what I'm saying, with 6ix9ine, because it was logical. Niggas gonna side with logic all the time. Now, if Big Bank was fighting logical, he could have came, well, like he was trying to fight back. Like I seen him say, he was like, well, you know, niggas smashing your baby mama, you know what I'm saying, niggas doing all of that, that was an excuse for you to rap. And that is true. Because when you jump in these streets, you know this shit come with time. A lot of niggas know selling dope gonna get them 50 years, 100 years, but they still sell dope, right? And then when a nigga get locked up, they become like the dude that's in the Fulio case. the nicest kid in the world, talking proper and shit like that. His sister, his mama, whoever showing him doing like little female poses. They say that's the white girl pose. I posted for y'all, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you become this person, and my thing is why you couldn't be this person before you had to go to be a slave to the penitentiary. Yeah, that's what you're gonna be. Like they said, sweat equity. The prison needs sweat equity. That's a slave. A nice way of saying a slave. And this brother, 20 years old, born in 2005. I think I was like 5th grade, and you born in 2005. You know what I'm saying? You 20 years old, bro. You finna go spend the rest of your years in the chain gang. Just to say you was a street nigga or you was riding for a nigga. You know what I'm saying? And the niggas that really sent the hit ain't even know what being investigated or locked up. They probably could be being investigated. You know, that nigga, he the star suspect on the case. So it's possible that they can be having this nigga ready to tell. He could probably be another famous rat. They probably got this nigga online ready to tell, you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother story. We gonna get into that another time. But like, yeah, they play it like that. Put you on the world news, put you on Law and Order and crime, you know what I'm saying? Just world news, and you on a public stage all alone. You talking to 12, trying to get the big man down because you not finna go lay down for no life bid. So now you trying to get up out of there. You ready to tell on something. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be on the lookout for that. Just, you know what I'm saying? Be on the lookout for that, because we all know who they really want. They really want Ace. You know what I'm saying? They really want Ace. They got Queso. Queso, you know what I'm saying, took his shit to the chin. But this other nigga was up there crying, and you know what I'm saying? He got the antics going on, his family there. You know, they probably telling his ass out the gate, man, go ahead and just tell on these niggas. You feel me? Tell on these niggas and come home. You need to come home. You shouldn't be in there for some shit that he, you know what I'm saying, that he did. And just like 6ix9ine said, which was a major point as well, logic, right? I believe he spoke on this in a Vlad interview. Sammy the Bull had 19, you know what I'm saying? Vlad interviewed him too, but Sammy the Bull had 19 murders, 19 people that he unalived, and they let him out free. This dude murdered, you know what I'm saying, unalived the menace. Rather, he unalived the menace. So if he tell on the other dude that sent the hit, it's more than likely he gonna trade his freedom. He gonna trade they exchanging lives. He gonna trade his life and his sentence for his freedom to get Ace locked up and take his life. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them things or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna keep on posting on this. I'm gonna keep on giving my opinion on this, my educated opinion on this. But that whole little debacle with Bank, man, it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? There need to be more stuff that's posted like that, but it's crazy. Like Bank, like 6ix9ine definitely snatched Bank fame. You feel me? He snatched his light. And I say that because it was his setup. He paid him to come. He knew all the Atlanta niggas was gonna watch. And he's trying to start a podcast. You could tell he did an interview with Vlad, had Vlad wearing his little, you know, his little Birkin chains and shit like that. Like all the imagery and shit that people want to see. You know, he had Bank come on there. He paid him to come on there to make him look like an asshole. So it's a lot of stuff that's like that you see, you know what I'm saying? He's setting the stage for him to have one of the biggest podcasts till the end of 2026, maybe to 2027. He might be interviewing people or just having artists come up. But that's the thing too. I want to ask y'all put in the comment, who do y'all think he gonna interview? The next person that is probably gonna be up there, and maybe Academics. After Academics, I believe he was on screen with Lil TJ. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was on screen with Lil TJ. So he gonna get some niggas that's gonna be willing to sit down with him, bro, for that bag. And a lot of niggas criticize Kodak about that shit. You know what I'm saying? About sitting down and making a song with 6ix9ine for a bag, which was $1 million, and Bank sat down with him for an hour for $10,000. So that shit right there speaks at volumes. Money walk bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Money talk bullshit walk 1,000 miles. You feel me? That shit right there speak volumes. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was joking about, you know, Kodak saying, I know the value of $1, but that's true. A lot of people who was put in that position and given that opportunity would have probably took that $1 million. People were just bashing him because they didn't have that opportunity presented to them. You feel me? But nevertheless, man, remember they said it, now we speaking on it. I am Mr. Telescope. You are now watching Telescope Channel. If you like my takes, man, you like what I got to say, y'all jump in the comment section, give me some reaction. Let me know what y'all think about what I just said. Make sure y'all like and share this video. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I got some stuff from Florida. When I went down to Florida, I was on like a little vacation, a little hiatus, had some court stuff to handle. That's all over and done with. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give y'all an update on that in the next video, man. Telescope.